fluffbutts, it's me, FaolanCortez Cult, and watch out everyone, this video is going to get fiery. About a month ago, I asked you fluffbutts on my community page to give me your hottest G5 takes on what could have been changed, what characters you criticize, anything that you think could have been done differently, and now I am going to be reacting to them and just giving my overall thoughts on them. This video is unscripted, so you're going to be hearing everything coming purely from my brain and from my perspective. And please remember that this is not a dig on G5, everyone. I don't want any hate on the generation. There has been enough already. This video is all in good fun, and we can only hope that we may disagree or agree respectfully. Okay, got it? So, let's find out what your hottest G5 takes are. I don't mind Izzy's voice in Tell Your Tale and Make Your Mark. I remember seeing people complain about it. Oh yeah, absolutely. I remember like back when Tell Your Tale and Make Your Mark were like first announced, people were overly criticizing the new voice actors that were brought in. Like, come on guys, that was so not needed. Did you really expect Hasbro to keep Hollywood like tier list actors for their show? Like, that is never gonna happen in a million years. So I think Hasbro made the right choice of making like these new voice actors the main roles from now on. And to be honest, I kind of prefer them over the bigger actors because, oh my god, Jenna, JJ, Anna, Maitreyi, and AJ, and Bafia, they are such great voice actors, and yeah, they're really fabulous, and the way they just treat each other like a big family, oh, it's so adorable. The episode Sparky's sick didn't bother me as much. I found it more boring than anything. The episode 46 of Tell Your Tale is just a bad episode, really. You're 100% correct that it's boring because I wasn't really engaged by much of what was going on. Like, the first half is admittedly enjoyable with the main five like genuinely bonding with each other to like cure Sparky's hiccups. But then the second half, there was just so much going on, and that one infamous fart joke, it's the worst kind of humor imaginable, and the fact that Jessica and Naomi even included that in the script, they should be ashamed of themselves. But I'm very happy that they are improving so much in season 2, so hopefully if they look back on season 1 and their previous work, they would be, oh god, did we really write that? I don't get the hate for Sparky in general. Yes, since I enjoy him. Thank you so much, mate. All the love for my baby boy. Not one of my favorites, but nowhere near as bad. Yeah, of course, Sparky is not a bad character. Like, oh my god, guys. Are you really gonna seriously hate this cutie face? I am just probably his biggest defender at this point. But seriously, guys, he's not that bad of a character. He doesn't even, like, cry or whine or moan about everything in like every episode. He is a baby, yeah, but he doesn't really display like the usual like attributes of one. The trash song is good, and Nightmare Roommate isn't a bad episode. You had me there in the first half, but the second half, I'm sorry, but I disagree there. Don't get me wrong, the trash song is a good song. It's mainly just the episode that I have a problem with when it was introduced, dumpster diving. The visuals, the lyrics, and the way Izzy is just embracing her creativity in the episode, it is adorable, yeah, and it does suit her character in the song, but in the episode, it's just so falsely characterized, and she's so destructive with what she does. Like, do you guys really find that scene in dumpster diving when she was chasing down Posey on the unicycle and then just shrugging off that earring as something special for the lantern? Like, what was the point of that? And with Nightmare Roommate not being a bad episode, I'm sorry, mate, but it is a bad episode. And it's one of the absolute worst characterization pieces for Izzy in general, because the way she expresses herself so, like, rapidly around the Bright House, it gets so annoying. And the fact that she even thought a toothbrush was an ear cleaner, like, that was such a disgusting moment. And it's honestly cringe. Like, oh my god. Hitch's inclusion in the episode was unnecessary because all he did was like, hey, you need to do this to give Izzy the right kind of treatment. And then the ending with Izzy, like, just shrugging off, like, the gifts that Sunny, Pipp, and Zipp gave to her, that felt so ungrateful in my eyes because, oh, I don't need all of this now because I can just share yours. The scenes and the way that the episode was just written as a whole is just stupid. The final 2 episodes of Make Your Mark Chapter 5 were a disappointment and felt like extended Tell Your Tale episodes because the first 4 were amazing and had a strong build-up. Yeah, you're definitely right there with the first 4 episodes of Chapter 5 being just masterful because Cutie Blossom Bash, the Family Trees 2-parter, and Father of the Bridlewood, they are undoubtedly amazing. There's no question there. But with Main's Melody and with Nightmare on Main Street, probably not for Nightmare, but Main's Melody, oh my god, I can't stand that episode because the way it brings in the hoof-smelling fetish like antics and it brings the lore-building concepts to the side and doesn't really acknowledge them and only brings it up in the next chapter, that is so irritating because you expect the lore, like, world-building stuff to be the main focal point of the episode, but no, let's go with some hoof-smelling stuff and Tell Your Tale kind of plot just shoved into the middle of it for no reason. It's distracting so much from us, and it's just a big letdown for Main's Melody, and it's honestly why I consider it to be the worst episode. But with Nightmare on Main Street, I don't know, I kind of like that episode and I find it really fun because the Halloween stuff that was going on, the costume designs, and Opaline finally stepping into Maritime Bay to be intimidated but she was just laughed at. That was such hilarious points in that. Like, come on guys, you have to admit that was a really funny moment. And when we found out that Opaline can take others' cutie marks like what she did with Posey, that was a shockworthy scene. Like, oh my god, that really put me on edge too. And then the cliffhanger with the map finally being revealed to us. Oh, maybe it can be a bit lackluster as a finale, but as a general episode, no, I think it succeeds. I don't know if this counts, but I used to like Misty's old main better. Oh, someone's got opposing opinions than mine, eh? That's what I'm talking about. Truthfully, I think many people can like both styles if they wanted. Like, the old and new mains are kind of contrasting together. Misty's old main, it represents like her claustrophobic like upbringing, like that she had no recollection of her childhood, and it's represented in the cold colors like the blue and the green. It feels icky and lonely and you just want to give her a huge hug, really. And it does suit her fur coat of being blue. But with the new main being like a sunset coloring, like with the red and orange and yellows, it blends fantastically into her like redemption arc and how it represents like a new dawn, a new change, and Misty's turning over a new leaf. It's for the better after all. So yeah, I think both main styles are fabulous in their own way, so no matter what you choose, I agree with you. While I don't dislike Sparky, I do think Hitch's development relies too much on him. Oh, now that is a good hot take there. Nice one. Perhaps Sparky can be like a bit of a like clinging on character to Hitch because he's always seen with Sparky, like in almost every single scene that he's in, he does always have Sparky with him, and maybe that can be a bit of a trouble, but it's in no way like detracting away from Hitch's character from being so much improvement, because even in like Roots of All Evil Part 1, when he was away from Sparky, he still maintained his sheriff position and he always wanted the best for his people, and he encouraged everyone to just get it together and let's work together because I may no longer have my baby with me, but I can still work efficiently by myself. And especially when he took on Opaline face to face and how he jumped in front of that gay couple and he was willing to sacrifice himself for God's sake. Like, imagine if Opaline like did a killing curse towards Hitch in that scene. I would have been devastated. And also, I definitely believe that Hitch's personality is way better in the shows than it was in the movie, because Hitch was kind of still casually racist while still upholding the corrupted law that he was practically like made to obey. And even though he had his friends with him and he was still headstrong and like supporting them and such, he still upholds the law, yes, but at least that has changed and now he's closer with his friends, and even without Sparky, he still adores them. And I think it's just mainly down to the writers on how they perceive him, because yeah, he does have his own duties and his priorities still in place as sheriff, but he also has a duty of care for the one that loves him the most. Maybe I'm a little biased towards Sparky because I love him so much, and Hitch because he is my favorite character in the generation, but maybe he can be relying a little on Sparky, but not too much. I hate the fact that Make Your Mark always focused on Zipp and Misty and barely gave others a chance. Oh, no way, mate. Nah, that's a bit too harsh, because you're just practically pushing Sunny, Hitch, Izzy, and Pipp's development away from the bigger picture, because, yeah, maybe Zipp and Misty probably dominated the later chapters, but in the earlier chapters, there was no way that Zipp and Misty were just taking over the spotlight all the time, because there was plenty of moments that had the other characters involved, like in Izzy Does It, with Izzy and Pipp's like creative block debacle, Growing Pains with Hitch learning how to not be so overly overprotective of Sparky, Sunny Side Up with Sunny and Hitch working together to like prove that content creating is more natural if you just be genuine to yourself and you're not really faking anything for views. And even Hoof Done It, with Pipp having one of her finest moments of holding up a mirror to Zipp and proving that this is what you will become if you're not careful, so don't you dare go blaming Misty for what you are indirectly trying to like antagonize her into. Zipp and Misty aren't the only ones always being majorly focused on, mate, like come on. Also, I don't like how people think that Sunny doesn't act like a lead pony in the two shows. Yeah, like that is a bit of an issue, because why do people expect Sunny to be like the main leader or the main protagonist or the main character of the whole show? Like, that's not really how it works. And it differentiates massively to how Twilight Sparkle was like presented in Generation 4, because at least she had a defined like role in that generation, because at least she was like the main protagonist, while Applejack, Fluttershy, Rarity, Rainbow Dash, and Pinkie Pie were like the other characters that just tagged along with her. But with Generation 5, Sunny doesn't really need to be like the main pony of the action, because everyone can take turns. There doesn't really need to be anyone like properly at the front. I don't think Opaline was a good villain. Yeah, I'm sorry, mate, but I disagree with that. Because I do think she is a good villain, because she just revels so much in her wickedness, and she simply doesn't give a fuck about what happens to anyone, even if she succeeds. Like, she didn't even care about how she was bringing up Misty when she stole and kidnapped her, and she thought she was doing it in the name of her Together tree and helping it grow, but she was so naive, and that is a bit of a downfall for her. But she even takes the piss out of her like maniacalness, because yeah, she knows she's evil and she isn't going to be reformed in any way, and that is a positive to her character, because she doesn't get reformed, and I love that about her, because she can remain evil as much as she wants. The dragons in Generation 5 are way better than the G4 ones by a long shot. Oh yes, mate, yes, they are definitely miles better than the ones in G4. The dragons in Generation 4 may have had like a more variety of designs to them, because yeah, admittedly the Generation 5 dragons aren't really that designed well, because they all literally have the same model, but the characters, oh my god, either they were the same ones, or they were just constantly bullying Spike, they were angry, they were bullies, and they just didn't really care about how they were treating each other. But with the dragons in Generation 5, damn, they are like a big family, and they respect each other, they love each other, and they may have different personalities too, because some are shy, some are happy, and some are just really bitter. Generation 5 show the dragons with more characterization and more personality, so yeah, good one there. Sprout is extremely overhated. Extremely is a very strong word, mate. I'm pretty sure that he's not extremely. Like, maybe he's on the right kind of level of being hated, because I know there is a sector of G5 fans that absolutely adore Sprout no matter what kind of atrocities he's done. But yeah, guys, he's not really a good character, I'm sorry. He's not my favorite character even, and he hasn't really apologized for his actions in the movie, and like maybe he's a little more lighthearted, but he still remains a heartless jerk that doesn't really care about anyone else except for himself. Posey is a decent character, although she should have gotten more development past the first special, but she was still better than Sprout. Yep, I agree with you there as well, mate. Posey Bloom is just our lovable Karen, yeah, because she may be a bit callous here and there, but at least she means it in the name of good, and she even sticks up for the town whenever it's really necessary. And yeah, she was better than Sprout as an antagonistic figure, because she's just like a normal pony who has her own insecurities, and she tried to project that onto others without really thinking about the repercussions of her actions. And at least she said sorry for what she did in the special. And yeah, she should have gotten more development outside it, because she still remains the same, but I'm sure maybe she'll get some down later down the line in season 2 of Tell Your Tale, but I love her for what she is currently. Hitch is easily the best male MLP character, no questions asked. Yep, I'm not going to question you on that because you said no questions asked, so yeah, I can agree with you there. Hitch is just a sweetheart. Make Your Mark has no particularly bad episodes, although some were weak than others. Yeah, some were just kind of the bottom of the line really, or they're just below average, like Ali Con, the Jinxie games, and Main Melody. Like, those are probably like the lowest points of Make Your Mark, if I have to say. Even then, the lackluster episodes in Generation 5 are still infinitely better than the worst episodes in G4. Oh gosh, yeah, because the absolute worst episodes in G4 completely destroyed my brain, more than the bad episodes in Make Your Mark. Like, what about Discord, Equestria Games, Non-Complete Clause, Spike at Your Service, No Second Prances, Boastbusters, Owl's Well That Ends Well, Stairmaster? All of those episodes are just revolting to watch, and yeah, I would still watch the worst episodes of Make Your Mark. And yeah, maybe even Baby Critters Club and Sparky Sick over those episodes, because I can't stand them. Misty is the saving grace of Generation 5. If it wasn't for her, most people would have stopped watching. Oh, now that is grasping at strings there. Would I love that hot take. From my experience, from like going on multiple social media platforms and exploring what other people think about Generation 5, people really do seem to like really adore Misty and like kind of simp for her in a way. People really respect Misty, and she does have like some of the best development in the whole series, and her characterization arc is just masterful. Yeah, I'll give her that. But to assume that if she wasn't really in the picture and people would have stopped watching, hell nah, I would have kept watching Generation 5 because I would have loved to see more if Misty wasn't really made a more focal presence. Maybe that point stands for the people that weren't really that interested in G5, like maybe they were in it for a few episodes, and then if Misty wasn't really in the picture, they would have gone, okay, well, this generation had me going for a few moments, but nah, it's no longer my cup of tea. Adding Spike was unnecessary to the story. Ooh, I inhaled a few flames there. On paper and like in concept, yeah, maybe he was a bit unnecessary to the story, because what exactly did he do in the like grand state of events? Because he like woke up from the dragon cave, he brought everyone back in to tell the story, then they went to Maritime Bay and then back to Opaline's Dark Castle, then they got captured, and then, oh, thinking about it then, actually, maybe I'm a bit mixed about that, because if it wasn't for Spike being in like Opaline's castle to like free Sparky to get the Dragonstone, then the heroes would have been fucked. Like, wow, okay, oh, my brain is going for a conundrum right now. Was he unnecessary or not? Perhaps Spike didn't really do much at the start, but in the end, he really contributed strongly, so maybe he was like a bit unneeded for the whole backstory, but I think it really suits Spike in a way, because he is like aged, he's grown, and he's got like a deeper voice, for God's sake, and him being the one to explain the true history about what happened when Opaline took over, I think he was a really worthy candidate for that job. I'll have to think more about this hot take here, because if Twilight Sparkle can be like reintroduced like she was in Growing Pains and be like a kind of presence throughout the whole thing, just not being there, then what was the point of Spike being there? Because, oh god. This is like the hottest one I've had so far. I don't know. Like, well done, Misty Blossom Forth. Like, that's your real name. I don't know. What do you guys think? Was Spike unnecessary, or was he needed for the story? Do tell me your thoughts in the comments below. The comics are 1,000 times better than the show. Now, that is stretching it, but I haven't read the comics yet, and I've still got them all down here, for God's sake. I really do need to make an effort on the comics. I hope that one day I will be able to make a comic reaction, so I'll keep this in mind. So let me see if the comics are better than the show itself. In the future, comic reactions are coming. Sprout isn't a bad character in the movie, but wait, he isn't a bad character in the movie? Nah, instant disagree. But he was a bad character in Make Your Mark. Absolutely not. He is a bad character in the movie, but I don't think he really was that bad in Make Your Mark, because in Make Your Mark, he still remains a bit heartless and inconsiderate to his friends, but at least he is there having an actual presence and one that actually pays off, because if it wasn't for Sprout, like, doing that big glimmerberry and growing pains, then the main six wouldn't have grown that together tree in Maritime Bay, and it's like Sprout indirectly bloomed that tree into existence. So he has kind of redeemed himself in Make Your Mark, but not fully enough to consider him like a good person in my books. But saying that he isn't a bad character in the movie, you're completely wrong there, mate, because did you realize what he tried to do? He tried to genocide a whole species of ponies, like try and dominate the world. His egotism was all over the place. He enslaved Maritime Bay citizens. He destroyed Sunny's father's handiwork and even her own home. He committed a war crime, if it can be considered that, by not accepting Queen Haven's like surrender, if it can be called that too, because I don't really think it was a surrender, because she said, we're not here to fight, but he just said, no, I'm not accepting that. And then at the end, he just got off scot-free. Like, no, that is not right. He did a lot wrong. Like, I know there are probably Sprout fans watching this, guys, but honestly, do you really think that Sprout is a good guy? Because no, he isn't. I'm sorry, but he's not my favorite character. And until someone can give me an official and properly established and really well-written redemption arc for his character, then I'm not going to be fully accepting into my heart. Apologies. Zipp should have been the one to fight Opaline, since she was the one doing the majority of the work. Yeah, you're right there that Zipp was doing a lot of the work, but nah, I don't think Zipp really deserved to be the one to take down Opaline, because that would have put Zipp more in a spotlight than the other members of the main five, and it would have overshadowed them in the finale, and I think that would have been a bad take for the Roots of All Evil to take, because if Zipp was the only one to take Opaline down, then I wouldn't really like her as much, because she was just taking over everybody else's developments and just, yeah, this is my show now. Sparky earned that revenge on Opaline in Roots of All Evil Part 2, because did you forget what she did to him in Missing the Mark? She literally tortured him and nearly even threatened to drown and drop him into a river to die. So Sparky got his act of revenge on Opaline by stealing back his Dragonfire and everyone else's cutie marks, and even Opaline's own power, and turning her Together Tree against her and just sealing her to a really tree fate. Like, oh god, that is just dark whenever I think back to it. Queen Haven is one of the best developed characters in all of G5. She deserves more love. Yeah, she does. Oh, Queen Haven is just a really sweet character, and the way she has like grown from the movie, especially, like she was being just a selfish dictator queen that only cared about the lie and the reputation of her citizens, and trying not to try and make it break, because if she did, she knew that she would end up in jail, and even hating Alphabetal on sight and nearly having that head-to-head battle with him, and then eventually in the Jinxie games, now I'm your lover now. Oh, that is some significant character growth there. So yeah, Queen Haven deserves a lot more love. I love a good queen. Chapter 2 is Make Your Mark's best chapter. Oh, now that is an excellent take there. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's just made me sweat. Personally, to me, I prefer Chapter 4 or Chapter 5, because yeah, those are probably the biggest and highest points of Make Your Mark. But saying that Chapter 2 is the best chapter, I can kind of understand where you're coming from, because it's just a really wholesome time, and it's got 8 episodes, so 2 extra more than the other chapters, and you can just really watch it for what it is, and it's just really relaxing. There's plenty of different stories to indulge in, different character moments there to really love, and hell, it even sets up the future plot elements for chapter 4, 5, and 6 sometimes. Oh, if it wasn't for chapter 2, maybe the rest of the chapters wouldn't have really happened. So I think we do really need to give chapter 2 some more love, because yeah, it is really underrated. I think Tell Your Tale is just a straight up bad show that really misunderstands what G5 is and should have been about, and even what My Little Pony is all about. Oh, no, mate, that's just a straight up bad opinion. I don't agree with that one, because saying that Tell Your Tale misrepresents what the actual franchise is all about, well, have you watched Newborn Cuties or Pony Life, for example? Not trying to hate on anyone that actually likes these generations, like all the power to you if you do, but to me, Generation 3.5 and Generation 4.5 more likely misrepresents what the whole franchise is all about, because those animation styles were either so wonky or they were so rapid and swift for me to keep up with, and the stories that were in there, they were too chaotic for my own good, and either they were just more childish and babyish, or they were just aimed at a more lower demographic. I truly think that Pony Life really misunderstands what the whole franchise is all about, because I virtually think that Generation 4.5 is clinging on to the hype of what Generation 4 was all about than Gen 5 ever did, because that is really misunderstanding what, like, moving on should be about. Like, Generation 4 shouldn't have really been like a bridge to Generation 5, because it kind of fell apart in the middle there. So going so far to say that Tell Your Tale is a straight up bad show, like, it's understandable if you don't really like it as much. I love it because I love what it is. But saying that it misunderstands what the whole show is all about, I'm sorry, but that is just really discrediting what others are saying about it too. The My Little Pony podcast deserves more love. Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh, the podcast. Oh, I really wish they continued that, because just listening to the characters in my ears and just talking about all kind of shit about the show and where they are and the locations and stuff, it's surprisingly well written and charming. Yeah, exactly. And proves that Generations 5 cast is strong enough that if you just let them be themselves, that's all the entertainment you need. Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, I was on Reigns with you just a minute ago, but now, yeah, come here. I accept your opinion wholeheartedly. It is. The podcast needs a comeback. Sunny isn't really all for friendship. Okay, what does this guy have to say? Well, he has written a lot here. They write her saying friendship and all that, but it comes off as just the front. Nah, it really defines her character, mate. It doesn't just come off as like surface level. All she talks about is magic, magic, magic. Not about friendship. Well, she is all about friendship, mate. That's literally her one element. Hope. Hope for the future and optimism for everyone. So if everyone can share friendship, then we will have hope for what is coming in the future. It's just be happy. She has never said anything explicitly simple as that. It comes off as very toxic positivity to me. Just her getting what she wants and ignoring everyone else, like when Zipp said magic was glitching, Sunny was so quick to dismiss it, as well as literally stealing Sprout's family factory. Like, oh my god. Is this guy, like, really trying to say that Sunny stole Sprout's family? What? In Top Remodel, yes, Sprout does say that it's still his family's factory, but what were they doing with it? What were they going to do with it? It was just going to stay there abandoned, just to pick up, like, bugs and everything and collect trash? Like, Sunny did something good with it, and Sprout should have been more appreciative of what she was doing with it. Come on, like, oh my god! Sunny gave it a revamping more like, and I guess Sprout was kind of impressed at first, but then he was like, but this is still my factory, it's not yours, ha ha ha. Like, no, that kind of behavior shouldn't be tolerated, and it's just another reason why I hate Sprout, because he just thinks that everything is his. He's so stingy. But that part when you said, when Zipp said magic was glitching, Sunny was so quick to dismiss it. Sunny learned from her mistakes, and it was only because she was just kind of clinging on to the thought of nothing bad is happening, but maybe that was a bit of a bad take for her character, but at least she redeemed herself and she learned the error from her ways, and she knew to take stuff seriously, and that even got brought up in things like the missing the mark, have you seen this dragon, and family trees. Sunny took everything to heart, and she knew that nothing was to be messing around with. Even in the beginning series, I believe he's referring to chapter 1, she specifically said stuff only about magic and not about bringing others together, like with Posey, and it was only, I'll show you and everyone will see how awesome magic is, and not, don't worry, someday we're all going to be great friends and have fun. Okay, mate, you're just straight up wrong there. I'm sorry. Sunny wanted to do the right thing for Posey, but Posey just wasn't really in the mood for it yet. So Sunny allowed Posey the space to like recuperate and probably like learn more to like what to do to embrace the magic. And she was still all about the friendship, mate. She literally made a Maritime Bay festival for bringing all the tribes together. And it was not just be happy and like waving away like, hey, just smile, everything will be okay. Like, that was not how she was presented in any way. I think it was more the citizens that had a problem with it and the idea of friendship, and not Sunny herself, because she was actually there like encouraging them to like try and like accept the friendship of everyone and just embrace each other. Sunny is a good character with potential and doesn't deserve to be called a Mary Sue. Absolutely, yes, she doesn't deserve to be called a Mary Sue. She's not all that omnipowerful and omnipresent. Secrets of Starlight is the best special. Ooh, okay. Secrets of Starlight is kind of tying with Winter Wish Day for being the best special for me. Both are really brilliant specials, and they're both cool in their own regard, because Secrets of Starlight is like setting up a new era with new characters, a new location, and Winter Wish Day is just cozy, festive, pure winter material, and I just love it for what it is, and I could just easily just relax through that and just probably like fall asleep positively to it. This is a headcanon. Sprout and Sunny are siblings? What? And Argyle and Phyllis were married? Okay, I am not going to touch up upon that because that is just absolutely absurd. There is no way I'm agreeing with that in a million years. Zipp is not a good detective. Oh, now that is a good one there. That is spicy. I think it mainly comes down to how she behaves as a detective, because her attitude and her like behavior of being one with like such demand and like such like getting into people's personal spaces all the time, like that's definitely not good for a detective, and she doesn't succeed in that regard. But the way she like treats everything with such explicit detail, and she goes so deep into like in her investigations, she's good in that aspect. But yeah, she really needs to learn on how to like express herself towards others so she doesn't seem like disrespectful to anyone. The G5 writers are better than what we give them credit for. Completely, yes. All the G5 writers deserve so much more credit than what we give them, and it's one reason why I touch up upon the writers in my reactions, just to make sure that they are acknowledged and to make sure that they are given the praise that they deserve. Like Ryan Denham, Tom Gidman, Kelly D'Angelo, Julia Mayfield, Leora Bellis. They are some of the greatest writers in Generation 5, and I love them with all of my heart, and they just write the best scripts, the best stories, they characterize everyone so precisely, perfectly, and yeah, they just have a lot of creativity to their writing, so they are complete naturals. Pipp is so useless in the movie. Whoa, hold up there, mate. If she was not there, the movie probably would be the same. I disagree with that. Pipp may have been overly egotistical in the movie because all she was doing on her phone was the content and taking selfies and not giving a fuck about the lie that she was actively upholding in the kingdom, and not really caring about the reputation of her citizens, when she was like singing a song directly in their faces about, hey, be free, just be yourself, we'll be able to fly. But taking the campfire scene into account, it's noteworthy how Pipp openly opened her heart so quickly to the other species. Like, she knew that they weren't really bad ponies and she can like accept them as friends. Like, she opened up to them more quickly than Hitch ever did, because he was there just being by the campfire with his sticks and not really with the other ponies because he didn't really trust them. But then when the dance scene came up in Bridlewood in the Crystal Tea Room, when Sunny was on the brink of losing against Alphabetal because they had only one more round, Pipp was there to give Sunny some encouragement and to, hey, just feel the music, go with the flow, you've got this, girl. She was giving Sunny confidence to really show Alphabetal business and to show her what she really means. And in hindsight, that really shows Pipp's foreshadowing of her element of confidence. I don't know if I phrased that all correctly, but basically, without Pipp in the movie and without her being with the main five, the Sunny would have lost the dance battle and they would have lost all their confidence in their mission and they would have just gone home in all misery. So Thank you, Pipp. I guess you were a good addition to the movie. Bridlewoodstock is the worst special of Make Your Mark. It's not really the worst in my opinion. It's like my third favorite, but then again, it's still on a kind of a lower level. The story is okay, but Pipp acts like what I call an indirect antagonist. Big no-no, mate. I'm sorry. She wants to make a cool festival in Bridlewood, but doesn't listen to her friend Izzy and the other unicorns who have a great reason to not make this festival in the first place. Yeah, that was a bit troubling for the plot, because Pipp is out there just not really taking Izzy's warnings into account. Like, she was acting like how she was in the movie with, like, not caring about anything else. She wants to do everything for herself. The drama with the three groups, who are the first to perform, is a little ridiculous. But it's realistic though, mate, you have to say, because it happens all the time with musical festivals, because who is more famous to go up first so the audience won't get bored of this festival and they just won't go home. And for a musical festival episode, we don't have many songs, even if they are cool. I'm a bit middling on that, because yeah, they do have a lot of songs, but I think it's just a shame that they didn't really all get brought out, because there was only time for like one major song, and that was iconic. If we don't count the fart joke in Sparky's Sick, the episode is pretty decent. Yeah, of course, it would have been decent, and it would have just been like an okay episode to pass the time with, because at least it would have given Sparky's character some recognition and some time in the spotlight with the other friends of his. But with the fart joke in it, it just ruins everything. Like, oh, Jessica and Naomi, I'm just so glad that you've improved. So just, if you do look back on this episode, just ignore it. Can we just consider Sparky's Sick not canon and a lost episode at this point? Dumpster Diving is a cool episode. It shows us how imaginative Izzy can be when she builds something and how destructive she can be. You think Izzy's destructiveness is a good prospect to her character? Like, did you really enjoy that scene when Izzy was chasing Posey down in her unicycling wagon and then she waved off Posey's earring as nothing special for the lantern? What was even the point? I repeat, what was the point of that if that was not going to have any, like, payoff in the episode? It's so stupid. A song about trash is a genius move from the writers. Well, shame that Gretchen Mallory was not a genius in the writing department with that episode. Oh, okay, that was a bit of a bad burn there. I think let's try and wrap this whole video up. I think this video's just gone a bit too fiery. Oh man, fluffbutts, I am sweating from this video alone, and it's just gone on for far too long, and I can already feel the flames coming up from the comments, so we really need to end this now. Just a reminder, fluffbutts, I do not want to see any kind of disrespect or malice towards anyone in this video. This video was created for only entertainment purposes, and this is not genuine hatred towards their generation. I still passionately enjoy it for what it is. I fully encourage constructive criticism and friendly debate, so please do not be harmful towards anyone below. Thank you. So, fluffbutts, don't forget to hoof smash that like button down below. Comment your thoughts on what your favorite hot take was in this video, and subscribe to my channel for more videos and many more content coming soon. And also, don't forget to leave a pledge on my Patreon page down in the description below, so you can help support me in making these fantastic videos more consistently. And I shall see you all very soon. Goodbye. And finally, I want to give a massive thank you to all of my Fluffbutt patrons on my Patreon. My silver patrons, Louise Wade, Alex Smith, and Chad, and my gold patrons, Drew Lazinski, Clear Heart Apple, Owen Wildish, Jonathan Chapper, Darth 12, Kiki Bat VA, Kitty Guardian, and the Peyton Growerful Trisky. All of your love and support is greatly appreciated. Thank you.